There is a sort of unwritten contract between people, between representatives and the people they represent. If the people who are represented want their representatives to publish details of their tax returns, then it would be a brave representative who chose not to. But I don't think this is something that should be regulated or mandated.
And I've got your details right in front of me. You published these in February, all very clear, from 2010. Many have said in the interest of transparency, you should publish details of when you had non-dom status before 2010. Will you be publishing details from prior to this period?
So I was asked to publish details of my tax returns, and I followed the only precedent set in British politics, which I published details going back throughout my time in public office. I think that's a reasonable request to have been made, and it was a reasonable request to accept, which is why I published them in the form that I did. So I think I've satisfied the questions that were asked.
Let's talk about the upcoming referendum, which is taking place in June, of course. How do you marry the fact that you're supporting the UK leaving the EU at a time when most of the financial industry, it seems, would like the UK to remain part of the EU, and you will, if you become mayor, be supporting the interests of Britain's financial services industry, most of which are here in the City of London?
So, I mean, the first one I have to make is my job is I'm the only Conservative candidate in the mayoral race. The biggest risk that London faces by far is not whether or not we stay in the European Union or come out of the European Union, it's whether or not London makes the wrong call on May the 5th. So I am duty-bound. I have a huge responsibility to win the arguments about the mayoralty over the next 24, 23 days. That's my job. The job of the next mayor, whoever that is not to take us out of Europe or keep us in Europe. It's to make work whatever decision is made by the British people. I'm not campaigning on this issue because I have a job to do. And I believe that if London embraces the sort of Jeremy Corbyn, Sadiq Khan agenda, that is a far, far, far bigger risk for London than any decision the British people could take in relation to the European referendum.
How will you differ, though, from Sadiq Khan, the Labour candidate? We spoke to him on Friday. He said that he would champion the city's financial sector. He pledges to be the most pro-business mayor London has ever had. How would you differ from Mr. Khan?
Look, I take that with a pinch of salt. Sadiq Khan comes as part of a package which represents more hostility to business than anything in my lifetime, as far back as I remember. Nominated Jeremy Corbyn, has said he would nominate Jeremy Corbyn again. The Labour Party and Sadiq Khan represent something truly frightening for London and the UK's business community. You know, to have a leader of the Labour Party describe business as the ultimate enemy and strikes as the ultimate weapon, that is not a reassuring message for our businesses. I will be the most pro-business mayor ever, and that's saying something after Boris Johnson's 8 years where he has championed the City of London. He's championed all our businesses. We need to ensure that London remains the most business-friendly environment it is possible to be. There are 1 million businesses in London. They are what underpin London's success. Remove those businesses and London ceases to be the most important important city in the world. But that isn't about gimmicks. That is about solving the housing crisis. My action plan for London will deliver 50,000
homes. How are you going to do that?
I'll tell you that in a second.
Many politicians have said we're going to create housing. We will come to that. Go on.
No, it's a good question to ask. My action plan for London will deliver those 50,000 homes principally by growing the transport network, by protecting the transport budget. The only way to unlock the brownfield land we're going to need to deliver the homes that we need to solve the crisis is by growing the transport network, and that is why the Labour Party candidates pledged to remove nearly £2 billion from the transport budget would be completely
Who's going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it, these 50,000 homes?
It doesn't require subsidy. If you talk to housing associations or local authorities or developers, big or small, ask them what is the biggest barrier, what is the thing you need in order to see a step change in the number of homes being built. It's not planning, it's not capital, it's land. Land is the biggest barrier, but we have the land. London, the government is the biggest landowner by far in London. TfL, GLA, local, Ministry of Defence, Ministry of Justice, and so on. There is an enormous amount of undeveloped brownfield land. The government needs to release that land, and the mayor then needs to grow the transport network in order to unlock that land. Look at the examples around London. Crossrail 2 will deliver 200,000 homes that otherwise would not be built. Sutton Tramlink would cost about £200 million, and it would unlock the possibility of 20,000 homes. The overground extension to Barking, 26,000 homes, and so on. Which is why if you don't protect the transport budget, London will grind to a standstill, but we also won't solve the housing crisis.